What's up, everybody? How you doing? It's Mike Watson, and we have another episode of Chat and Draw. Because that's what we do. We chat and we draw. We're we're like in the height of the third season here, man, and it is freaking going down. Uh, and I've been streaming a lot. I don't know if you guys were here this weekend and kicked it with me and my closest creative friends and family, because we did a 12-hour stream for FSK Day, and man, we cleaned up. So, in case you didn't see my thank you online or saw my video thank you, here's another one. Thank you, because it could not have happened without your support. Dealing with me popping up online all the time, because I do it a lot, and it lets me know that you like these comics, man, and I appreciate it so much. So for me and the Freestyle Comics and the Short Fuse Media Group family, thank you so much for all of that. And before we get in here, got to do my shout outs, because I would not have a Patreon without these people. So for the most epic art Patreon, I want to shout out Andrew Duggan, Haley Dennis, Bradley Arney, Tom Kelly, and Unlikely Hero Studios. Thank you so much. Shout out to J-Man, because I think he has watched every single episode of everything that I have streamed. What's up, Richard? How you doing? Haley's back in the building. She got some behind the scenes look at a little project I'm working on today. Kyron, what's up, man? Oh, Kyron, I forgot. I'm sorry, man. I had a super busy weekend. I will double check that date for you and get right back to you. And J-Man has started the FSK chant. FSK, FSK, FSK. That's what I'm talking about, man. So we've had a good solid weekend, man. And if you have not been up to our T Republic store, go check it out. Our T Public store is stacked with a ton of shirts. After tonight, I will be deleting some of those shirts off of there, because I only put them up there for FSK Day, and they were on sale for $13. And I said they were only going to be limited, so I will be removing some of those. And you need to go up there and check them out before they are gone. I get it, FSK. It was a good day. I need an FSK wrestling belt. I do. I do, my friend. Good job. You guys come up with some of the best ideas. All right. So for those of you that are new and tuned in for the first time, let me give you a little bit of information on me. I'm the publisher of Short Fuse Media Group, the founder of Freestyle Comics, one half of the good, the bad, and nerdy, and the most enthusiastic person in comics, aka the Super Mad Brother, Mike Watson, your host today and every day on Chat and Draw. And on Chat and Draw, I sit down with my iPad across from the virtual table from a friend, a creative, or a fan, and we draw and we chat. Literally, it is in the title. That's exactly what we do. And yes, Haley is right. There's other things on there besides shirts. There's laptop covers, cups, stickers, covers, and stuff. There's just stuff. Go check it out. Mugs. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring up my guest who has been on the show. This is about his third appearance on the show or whatnot. He's been on every single season. Streak. I'm going to bring him up here. We're going to find out what he's talking about. We're going to find out about this awesome Kickstarter that he has. And then we're going to start drawing. So in traditional Chat and Draw fashion, here we go.
Here comes a new challenger.
What's up, Ted? How you doing?
What's happening, man? Thank you again for having me. This is the second time, though.
Second time? Wasn't you on the season finale too?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
You are.
All right.
All right, Ted. Oh, thank you, sir. I'm glad you appreciate that. Ted, this is all I want you to do for me. I want you to tell everybody who you are, where you're from, what have you done, because you've got a few things, and what we're going to be drawing today, and I will be right back in one lickety split.
All righty. Yeah, my name's Ted. I am the president of Hero Tomorrow Comics, and Hero Tomorrow Comics actually started from an independent film. It was called Hero Tomorrow, and it was about a guy who had an idea for a superhero. He couldn't get it published, but his girlfriend, being an aspiring fashion designer, made him a costume of his own character for Halloween, and then he started running around in said costume trying to fight crime, but with no superpowers. So we started that movie. We started shooting it back in 2004. It debuted at Comic-Con International in 2006. And then it was playing the film festival circuit for a couple years. And one of the things we kept hearing is, there's really nothing like this character that our creator in the movie made. It was called Apama. And we decided to take the book that he was trying to make, and we actually made it into a real comic, and it was Apama the Undiscovered Animal. This takes place in Cleveland. It's the story of a Hungarian ice cream truck driver who unlocks the spirit force of the most savage beast mankind has never known and becomes the resident superhero of Cleveland. So, having the resident superhero of Cleveland, we needed to bring some resident villains in. And we did we've done 11 issues. Issue 5, we introduced the nemesis of the series. That was Regina here. So she's like this hippie, psychedelic flower child cult leader. And she was part of the indie destruction cast of characters. I was honored to have Regina as part of that. She's this hippie, psychedelic flower child cult leader. What I would say about Regina is it's impossible to fight her in a traditional way because she can distort your reality. She can make you hallucinate. So she's been big trouble for Apama. And then in issues 10 and 11, we introduced this character. And that's the Tap Dance Killer. And that was the character who Michael drew on the previous edition of Chat and Draw. And what happened with Tap Dance Killer is I was at New York Comic Con, and we were, just slinging the book, and people just kept asking me about this character. I've got her there on the mirror thing. I got her there behind me. Like, who is this? Who is this? And the reaction to her was so strong. And I thought, man, people just like the look of her this much. Wait till they read her, So I decided to give her her own series. And that one came out in 2018. And Nikki St. Clair, she's a mega talented actor who gets cast in a horror show musical as that character, the Tap Dance Killer. But then she can't shake the role and starts trying to wipe out the mafia. So Apama got in the middle of that. And one of the other characters that I had dreamt up for Apama that we had not yet had a way of developing, because doing this indie stuff the way we do it, we probably get out like 3 issues a year. So it takes quite a while. And this Regina arc is pretty big. So this idea I had for a heavyweight boxer who becomes a superpowered murderous clown named Punchline. And this was, actually I had that idea back in like 16, but he did debut in the last page of Tap Dance Killer #1. That was in 2018. And then in issue 2, we actually did introduce him. This is his first full appearance. So he has the kind of classic Wolverine, one big splash panel in Tap Dance Killer 1. And then in issue 2, we get the whole origin story of Drayton Hayes, this troubled boxer who is picked up by the vaudevillains and offered a chance to enact revenge on the people who sort of wronged his career. And he was the second most seen character in that series. And Tap Dance Killer had a 5-issue arc, which we compiled. And now we are doing Punchline in the Vaudevillains. And that is something that is on Kickstarter right now. And it's doing great. We had our best first day ever. And a week in, it's really our best campaign to date. So I'm thrilled to get the support we've gotten from it. And I really like this character. And one of the things I would say is in Tap Dance Killer, he wasn't really challenged because they were taking on this other mafia group. In Punchline and the Vaudevillains, he is going straight up against Apama as was originally intended. So that'll be like the first big sort of mini arc. And then there's a supernatural threat that's going to just throttle him. So I'm excited to give him a challenge that he's really worthy of.
Awesome. So that's bringing up. Hold up, I got a bit of an echo. Where is that echo coming from?
Are you getting an echo from me?
No, from me. Oh, it's gone now. Can you hear me?
I hear you fine, yeah.
All right, we're good to go then. All right, so this immediately brings up my very first question, and I respect the heck out of you for taking on this challenge, sir. How are you going to pull this off? You've got a brand new character that you're putting in his own series. Well, not brand new, but new to his own series. You're releasing this, you're promoting him, and the main person he's going up against is your main hero. So
yeah,
how is this going to work? He's a villain. He's a villain.
Well, and if anything in our books, the villains all kind of have an endearing quality. You want to like our villains. I hope. So I have a hard time writing a villain that's just a villain. That is just something I can't get my head around. I understand what's in his head, why he did what he did, and what he wants right now. And really, the challenge I think that's kind of interesting for Drayton Hayes' Punchline is that he didn't have he's fought his whole life. He's working his way up the boxing ranks, and his career was sabotaged by some people that that wanted to wrong him. They wanted to make some money on a fight. He was, his water was poisoned during the fight, and and then he was, and then he failed a drug test because of being poisoned in the ring. So, he couldn't get a fight. And he was like the number 4 contender. And he felt every bit that he was going to do it the right way. So everything he'd fought for was kind of just taken from him. And the vaudevillains saw the potential in him to be this just incredible, weapon within their team, this bruiser who almost indestructible. And they offered him a chance at this sort of revenge. But he also thought the situation was so absurd when they were proposing this to him, because there was this other failed experiment that they showed him. Look at what she can do. And this was Hurricane Lizzie. Let me see if I have a picture of Hurricane Lizzie here to share handy. And Lizzie was just crazy strong. And they're like, if we can do that with her, imagine what we can do with you. So he was like, this is the weirdest nightmare I've ever been in, and let's do it. So he kind of agreed to do it, thinking he was in a nightmare. There's a picture of Lizzie, just sort of like busting into the wall.
Let me get that in there. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Let's see, power like you've never imagined. So anyway, but now he's become this, and really, in a way, it's like he's become what he didn't want to be, a steroid enhanced guy, like he was always going the natural way. And now he's just so powerful that he doesn't feel like there's even a challenge worthy of him. Enter Apama, which is, this is going to be so, I've been wanting to, even in Apama, we have never had a blast out throwdown. Like, he's fighting a lot of women characters that is very difficult for Apama, because he's sort of a gentleman, he doesn't want to hit Regina, certainly doesn't want to hit the tap dance killer, but he knows he has to stop them. So, and I really like that dynamic, but at the same time, we just haven't had the way to go, a big full blast out. Yes. So this is going to be this first arc in Punchline and the Vaudevillains. It's planned to be a 5-issue series. It's going to be Throwdown City.
All right.
So that's great, by the way. Love this. Love it.
Thank you. So now I'm even more excited. All right. So I'm rocking my tap dance killer because that's my girl. Really digging, and I love Apama as well. I saw your work and actually picked up your books. Me and you did a book trade at New York Comic Con, and I loved it. From the fact that I was like, "Oh, you're from Cleveland? Oh, that's dope." All right, I definitely got to get in on this, and I thought the books were really good. Love the way you tell stories, and admittedly, I am not a fan of the Bronze Age era art style or whatnot, but I love it with your work. It works, and I don't know what about it that does not turn me off, because I have a couple of those things, but I just have them to have them, right? Because I'm a collector. But I actually like the way it works and looks with your titles. And then I saw Punchline and Tap Dance Killer, and I'm like, this dude is a problem. Like, he's a real problem. And of course you said that you were coming out with his book or whatnot, but I'm like, so what is this book going to be about? Like, I was stuck here. I'm like, what are we going to do? What's going to happen? And then I saw you brought up the other day that he's going to be fighting Apama. I was like, okay, all right. So then it's like, so I'm sitting here like, so Ted, how are you going to do this? This is your flagship character. Are you going to have him get his ass beat? in your new character's book because it's his book, or is he going to take an L? So I don't know which way he's going to go. So I'm going to be on the edge of my seat the whole time reading this thing.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Well, I plan things out so far ahead, and I kind of know where we need to end up. So yeah, I don't certainly I can't tell you how it's going to end or how that fight's even going to end.
Well, Ted, come on, you can tell me. I'm just choosing not to.
I will. I will say this. There's a side of Punchline that has never been revealed, and it's a supernatural thing that will get revealed during this fight, something he didn't know about himself. And it's going to change him in a significant way. Mm-hmm. Like, he'll be hit harder than he's ever been hit. And it sort of triggers something. That I'll say that much.
Okay.
And it's not like I will say it's not like a berserker rage. This is a spirit thing.
Okay. Well, I can see that. I can follow where you're going with that, and I'm making my own conclusions because I'm not the guy who wrote the book, but based off of what you're saying about this dude, he was a legitimate dude, really trying to do what was right or whatnot. So, so having some type of spiritual interaction, I don't think that's a far off thing. Like, I'm thinking, you ain't got to tell me if I'm right, Ted.
I'm not going to tell you if you're right or wrong.
You can wink a couple times at the screen just to let me know. So I'm thinking but Apama is the antagonist in this. That's what they're going through in this series.
The whole series, no. There's a supernatural threat that we actually set up in the Tap Dance Killer series. If you were to go back through it, there's a strand that was kind of left open, and there's this other supernatural threat that's coming. So, a much darker nemesis for them, even than themselves, I guess, would be the way of putting it.
All right. So I'm gonna put it like this: when Apama and Punchline meet, it's gonna be a slobber knocker. Like, Apama's gonna be able to cut loose and really get to go in with this guy and see what he's really made of. But your boy Punchline's gonna get turned on by that, and he's gonna go in because he never got to get his fight. He never got to showcase his skill the way it is. But here he is, trading slugs with Cleveland's first hero. Oh, he's about to show out. But
you got it. I mean, it's it's kind of like we've built up over 10 years, sort of built these characters and origins and everything, but they really haven't crossed, so yeah, I'm super pumped, and you're right on the. I love this angle, dude. I love that big fist coming at you, and it's cropped off like that. That's great.
Thank you. I was looking at what you had posted of him on your Kickstarter. I was like, Ted likes fists being thrown in the camera.
Get out of the way.
Yeah. But I think what's going to happen is that in this fight, I think we're going to get a bit of the Matrix, and not the way that you think I'm going to say it. Right. In Matrix 3, when Neo fought, what's his name? The other dude with the glasses, the Oracle's guard. He said you don't know someone until you fought them. And they're going to get to know each other with their fist. And he's going to realize Apama's not a bad dude, man. He's just protecting people. He doesn't got beef with Apama, but he's going to have to probably do something to get away from Apama, because I don't think he's going to end up wanting to kill him. Like, I think what's going to happen is like that classic venue is they're going to earn each other's respect.
We shall see.
Hey, he hesitated. He hesitated live on the internet. I think cracked Ted's code right there.
Oh, we shall see. Ilya, see, they're so different. Like, Punchline knows how to fight. Ilya has this animal spirit, but he's never really learned how to fight. So there's these, it's this sort of animal instinct versus well-trained fighter.
Right.
Strength
I'm here for it.
Punch is stronger than Apama. I would say that.
You said he's stronger?
He would be stronger. I don't have I can't give you the scale out of 10. I'll this is one of these things I'm going to fine tune as the issue gets kind of laid out.
Oh, no. You fine, Ted. Look, I've already figured things out, man. I'm not going to get greedy tonight. I'm good with what I've cracked the code. You ain't got to tell me nothing
All
else.
right.
Hey, even though I solved it, guys, you still got to get the issue. It's still going to be well written. It's going to be beautiful art, a well-crafted story, some bomb-ass dialogue. I put the Kickstarter link in there. Go over there, pledge and support. You know, if you don't have the money for it, that's fine. A share will help just as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I really do appreciate anybody spreading the word about it. And yeah, of course, supporting it. We've tried to make this pretty affordable, where we're not really charging anymore for any U.S. shipping. Like the price includes shipping.
Okay, that's what's up.
So $10 gets you issue 1 shipped, and it's like it's not just the issue; it's loaded with extras. So it's like instead of 32 pages, it's 48. So it's a bigger book.
Mm-hmm.
Loving it.
Haley says, do we need to check that Danny J. Quick is okay? I swear he possessed Mike just now. I felt a little bit of Danny J. Quick in me. When we were doing our inside look at FSK on Saturday, Danny J. Quick, I told Danny J. Quick we would answer 70% of his questions. We would not avoid anything. I would give him that. And then I'm not going to tell him what he figured out, but this fool figured out something. And me and Danny had to put the mic on mute. We couldn't believe he figured it out. And we told him, like, you're onto something, Danny J. Quick. I'm not going to tell you what you're right or wrong about, but I'm going to tell you onto something. He is a true comic book fan. That boy consumes and reads. He reads for the intention of finding the connections. He
contributed to ours today, and then I was intending to get Ace Blade, and I did order that earlier because they got it back in stock. So yeah, the Ace Blade trade is back in stock. There's a plug for that, and it looks awesome.
Yeah, it is. Get it while you can.
Oh shoot, what was I going to say? Something about crap if I remember.
Oh, it'll come back to you. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. FSK Day. That was amazing. That was freaking amazing. Shame on me for only remembering to bring it up right now. Dude, that was so smooth the whole day. Anytime I tuned in, it was just like smooth as glass. And then through all those people, you had the bumpers, you had the commercial breaks, you had the telethon people. It was hilarious. I thought that was just like top notch all the way, man. So congratulations, and well earned every dollar.
Thank you so much, man. And with your film background and you making movies and things like that, I really appreciate that coming from you. I wanted to make sure it was entertaining as I possibly could and looked as professional as I could possibly make it what I had available.
Oh, I thought it was great. I thought, the people you had on besides me were terrific. And yeah, just I learned about a lot of new creators, and man, for us indie folk, man, that's what you need. We gotta keep our network together, and you're doing that better than anybody.
Thank you so much. It's fun. It's my little cheat, man, because I get to hang out with all these people, and I get to learn stuff too, man. So I was just as much listening to those panels as anybody else. And then I get to bring them on the show and draw their bomb-ass characters.
Jeez, oh man, look at this. And
So,
what are you using here? You're on what program?
I am on Procreate right now.
Procreate. Those lines are just beautiful. The line weight.
Thank you.
That is the way to do it. Anybody learning? I've messed around. I wanted to be a comic book artist all through high school, but I was discouraged because they said you can't make a living doing comics and get into something else. So my degree started out in accounting, and I hated that. So I sort of switched to an advertising degree, which comes in handy quite a bit. So I do character design, but the artist on the Punchline in the Vaudevillain series is Donny Hadi Wajawa. He's the same artist who did Tap Dance Killer. In Tap Dance Killer, he was doing pencils. The first two issues he did on paper, pencil and ink. And then because we do get distributed through Diamond, and the timing was getting really tight because you have to have the cover in 4 months before the book is due, or 3 months before the book is due for the catalog. And then, you've got to just get that book flipped out pretty quick. And if you're still working on the past book, we ended up having him just go to pencils. And then I hired another guy to do the inking, Chiz Ariswenda, who was terrific. And then we were able to keep the speed better. So, once he gets pencils done, it starts inked, then I can get the colors going. But with this one, Donnie really wanted to do the whole thing, and he has switched to all digital. So it's definitely a cleaner look, and we're having a real good time with it. And for this first one, we're doing a Kickstarter exclusive. So we'll probably still do a Diamond release, but it'll be the regular size. So the Kickstarter actually has all these extra pages, and we're going to show sort of layouts and all kinds of stuff that you wouldn't really normally see. So it's like a special edition.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. During Veronica Smith, who's our lead colorist and our associate editor at Freestyle Comics, she's from Michigan, and she drove down here this weekend to hang out with us, to spend the day with us, because she always comes down for FSK Day. But she also does not have the best internet, and I definitely wanted her to be a part of it. Hey, what's up? No, Mother, I don't need you. If you want to come on and say hello to everybody, you can. My mom's here, Ted. She likes a lot of attention.
Hello.
Ted says hello. So I was working on that one hotshot piece that I did that I said I was going to give away, or I was going to have available as an exclusive. I banged that out, did that on the iPad, and then Veronica came in, and she just got through driving, and she was sitting down with me as I was working on stuff for the show, and she was like, "Well, you got anything I can color for tomorrow?" I'm like, "Veronica, you sure? You just got here." She's like, yeah, just give me something to color." So I went digging through the iPad, and I was like, "Hey, I got this old Vigilance piece that's not finished. Here." Finished it in about an hour and a half. It's the one where Vigilance is pulling the boat by the chain. Huh?
Can you pull it up? Can you show
Oh,
it?
yeah, I can pull it up. She did that in about an hour and a half, and I was like, well, looks like we have 2 exclusives now. So we'll be selling this one tomorrow. We sold a bunch of those when we got finished. Then we went to, Then we went to the chat and draw live portion of FSK Day, and we had Ren McKenzie, Shaggy, JM, and Ryan Robinson there with us, and we were all drawing an FSK themed character. And somebody told me to draw a Venomized Hotshot. I was like, "Oh, that's dope! I never thought to do anything like that." So I started drawing Hotshot as Venom, and I'd put the inks on it. I'd finish it up, and Veronica kindly took it from my hands, and she colored it right there.
I did see this. I saw that. Yes. Yeah. But you should share it. Can you pull it up, you think?
Yeah, I just organized my computer, so I know where everything is now. But she did that, and in an hour, and I was like, "Well, we got another exclusive, so we're going to be selling that one too." Let me see here. Where is there it goes. Here it goes. Well, here's the Vigilance one, man. I'm about to pull this one up real quick. And by the way, I'm also having fun working on yours right now. Jeez, you got some fun characters to draw, man.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh yeah, that's real nice,
dude. I was watching her do this. She's just so good. I mean, that's why. Like, I can color enough to get a job done, but you just got to refer to the experts at times, man. You just got to. She was able to do this, and I just absolutely love it. I printed it off for myself so I can hang it up in my house. We sold a bunch of these yesterday, and then Venomized Hotshot was a big seller as well. There he is. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That's hip.
And so I can't recommend the iPad enough. No, I'm not, because I'm working, Mother. Yeah, I can't recommend. I'm a huge advocate for the iPad.
Mm.
Veronica said she was having some tech trouble, like she needed to get a new tablet. I was like, don't even waste your money, man. Just go ahead and invest in an iPad. You'll be unstoppable with it.
Yeah, I haven't tried the iPad, but I do find Clip Studio is a lot nicer for inking than Photoshop, which I'd been using the whole time.
Oh yeah, I've heard a
It's
lot
just,
of good things about Clip Studio. I bought it for iPad. That's the one thing. It's pretty basic on iPad,
mm.
but it's great on the computer. So I haven't got it for the computer yet, but I want to.
I see J-Man has a question here. I will address. Let's see.
Go ahead.
It says, what actors would you want to play your characters? But instead, he's going to ask this question. If your comics would be filmed, or what network or streaming platform would you want your comics to air on? Man, I would... Netflix or Amazon
Prime.
are doing a pretty good job.
I think your characters are Amazon Prime all day, Ted.
Yeah.
Prime exclusives.
That would be fantastic. And as far as actors, I have thought a lot about Nikki St. Clair. And there's two names that, well, let me ask you first. Would you have anybody come to mind for you?
We've actually done this a lot. The guy who voices Miles in Enter the Spider-Verse. We want him to be Hotshot. And
Okay.
For Justice, Hotshot's hero, we want The Rock. I modeled that character directly after The Rock.
Yep.
We go back and forth with Vigilance. I originally had Vigilance modeled after Rosario Dawson, but Victor showed me somebody else who I prefer better, but I can't remember her name right now at this moment. But honestly, I would love to have some live action stuff, but I'm more of a fan right now of doing it animated.
Nice.
How they're doing Invincible, 8 episodes, an hour long, huge voice actor cast. It's basically made up of everybody we love, half the cast of Walking Dead. I mean, there's no limit to the budget because it's all
Who's
animated.
doing it?
Amazon is.
Oh, and then, did they say when that might air?
It's coming out before the end of this year.
Really? I didn't even hear of it. I had no idea that was being done.
Dude, Kirkman showed the trailer during what was supposed to be New York Comic Con.
Wow.
Yeah, Kirkman showed the trailer, and the thing about it, it looks just like the comic book. And it's got tons of feels from Justice League, Batman animated series, and stuff like that. It looks phenomenal, and I'm thinking I might not want a live action, just like especially if Invincible takes off and a lot of people take it seriously. I'm thinking I might just want to do an animated series.
And that's something they can do during COVID. Like, they said animation is still cooking right along. So, yeah, I'll tell you, the person I like for Punchline is the guy who played Dr. Manhattan. I'm going to mess up his name.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, God, let me see.
In Watchmen,
the
HBO. That's a great cast. That's a great pick.
He's got the physique. I mean, he's just got the height. He'd be a dream. In fact, at the end of this, near the end of the Kickstarter, I'm going to ask everybody to tweet this out and see if we can get his attention. I would love that. So
I got that to happen a couple times. Our perfect cast is for Human. Oh my God, why can't I remember his name? The dude with the crooked nose that's always in the funny movies. He's always like he's in Wedding Crashers. Owen Wilson.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Owen Wilson.
He's great. He's very likable and everything.
He is, man. He really is.
There's a guy who was, shoot. there's a guy I really like for Apama, Ilya. Doggone it! It was the guy who did the movie Dazed and Confused. Oh, I can't. Linkletter.
Dazed and Confused.
His new movie. It was Everybody Wants Some. It was called Everybody Wants Some. The lead guy in that, I think he'd be perfect as Apama.
Okay.
Then for Nikki St. Clair, the tap dance killer, I like either Lupita Nyong'o or Janelle Monáe.
Oh, I'm digging the first one. I'm digging the first one a lot. Yeah.
And maybe Keke Palmer too.
I think Lupit. I'm pronouncing her name that wrong, but I think she'd be great.
What I like about her is that she would be able to become so many other characters. Like Nikki's like the ultimate actor. Like she could throw down the accents and just completely become somebody else. And I really think that would be a juicy role because it's not just one role within a piece. She could have like 7 completely different characters during a series or something like that. Dude, this is so awesome, man. I absolutely love your stuff.
Thank you, Ted. How long does it take you to come up with a character design? One of the many things that I do enjoy about you and whenever I work with you is that I know I can go right to you and like you without a character sheet can tell me exactly what's on your character, like what needs to be, and like when you have these patterns, like the exact number of shapes and stuff that's supposed to be on there. Like how long does it take you to come up with your character designs and work them out?
This guy was tough because I did want this sort of patchwork costume, and I had probably 15 versions, so he really, I kind of knew sort of the shape of the dude, and but yeah, the costume, I wanted it to be sort of something we hadn't seen before. So yeah, the one half he's got the checkers, the other half is stripes. He's got these sort of tight spandex shorts, but then baggy pants coming out from under them. And I just played with it, and I could maybe, that would be kind of cool actually for this. I'm glad you mentioned this because I'm thinking about what to do to fill in these other extra pages, because the story is a regular size story, but we're putting in all these extras. Maybe I'll show all the other costume designs I had for Punchline because there were a bunch. I mean, the one almost looked like a Jimi Hendrix, like he had this sort of, it was like a hippie clown,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I guess he took the idea for him was like I said, back in 16, and then he debuted. I mean, I had him designed in 17. We were shopping the script around, and I had character concept art for that. So it was probably a solid 2 weeks when I was really, working at it, not nonstop, but every couple nights.
Coming back to it and stuff.
Yeah, I always think you gotta step away from it, come back to it, and then you start to know things that you just can't when you're in the heat of it.
That's a good point. I never thought of something like that, and I heard somebody say that at one of the panels at FSK Day is that when they come up with an idea, they jot down the idea, whatever they're thinking or whatnot, and they step away from it for like 2 or 3 days, and they come back and they determine are they still as excited as they were when they created it, to decide to work on it or whatnot. And I was like, oh, that's a really good thing to do.
Now, how do you come up with yours? Like, how long does it take you for a, it probably varies, I imagine, but what's the range?
It does vary. I can come up with if I'm really inspired by something, man, I'll come up with some stuff real quick, and then like I'll immediately, like this new project that I'm working on and trying to work out all the kinks on. I watched episode 9 of Lovecraft. 10 minutes after it was over, I had the idea. 20 minutes after it was over, I was thinking of who to work with it on. 30 minutes after it was over, I was determining the cast, what the basis would be, and all that stuff. But then, like, other projects, like I have to work on and chip away at it, like day to day, like, and just digging in. So it varies upon my excitement level. Generally, when I come up with something, it's something I want to come to be that I want to work on. Is just figuring out how to make it work with my time schedule and stuff.
Let's see what we got here.
So how does that work for you?
How
With
does
new ideas.
Well, I write down every idea I come up with. I record them. I put them into a little. I have a little. Let me see what the thing I'm using now is called. Microsoft To Do. I used to use this thing called Wunderlist, which I loved, but they can't. Microsoft bought it. Now it's Microsoft To Do, and it's fine. It works about the same, but it's just a very easy way to keep lists. So I'll have like a dialogue list. I will have an idea list, character list, whatever, just a name for a character or something. And, these things, you look back through the list and you're like, yeah, that sucks. But then this one's interesting, but I'm not ready for it. And they just keep percolating, and there's a new character idea that I'm really excited to do as well. But I'm trying to get this thing going first, and Bloom, Bloom is this other series that we already have the first 3 issues done.
Oh, wow. All right.
It was, well, they're not colored, but they're all inked and mostly lettered. We were debuting Bloom. It was actually in the preview guide for April, and we had 3 covers. We were doing this incentive variant cover for the retailers. And that's when the big shutdown started, and my rep from Diamond said, hey, this is not a good month to launch a new comic because the preview guide isn't even going to be seen by anybody. And if your issue 1 dies, you're toast, So I was like,
right.
So that's when we really made the tough decision to not do any new releases until Comic-Con started opening up again, because I love that we have this relationship with Diamond, but it's not enough to really pay the bills on its own. The cons with Diamond has been very good for us. So we thought, we'll just wait till the cons open. And we waited and waited and waited like everybody. And there's no cons happening anytime soon. And decided to go the Kickstarter route here. So Bloom still is there. I really do want to wait. But what I think I may do now with Bloom, because of what has happened here with Punchline, is I might do a simultaneous offer in the preview guide and our Kickstarter. And there'll be exclusive stuff on the Kickstarter you can't get with Diamond. There'll be maybe exclusive stuff with Diamond that you can't get with the Kickstarter. So that way the retailers have something that, I don't want them to, and I've talked to a couple of retailers about that, and they thought that was a cool way to go. Mm-hmm. You're not just, trying to sabotage their orders by people having already ordered it, and I largely don't think that the Kickstarter crowd and the people who go to the comic shops on Wednesday are necessarily the same people. So
I don't think so either. I don't either.
So I think that's going to be all right. Man, I like what you did there with the hair. That's the motion, man. Oh, this is very good.
Thanks.
It's fantastic. So I don't know if I told you this, but when our campaign reaches 6,000, your print is a stretch goal.
Oh, okay.
We hit our goal, and our first stretch goal is going to be, and I was thinking, because I commissioned you to do a different Punchline.
You did.
But maybe it should be this one, this one will be in the book. I don't know. We'll have to talk.
Well, it's always fun to come back and revisit the character and get some more playtime with them. These drawing other people's characters, like I really when I was a kid, I'm like, I could draw Spider-Man. That's no problem. I can draw Batman. That's nothing. But like, you really have to cultivate time with these characters to understand them. Even understanding their personality helps you with drawing them even better. And the more and more you draw them, the better you get. And like, it's not just like the practice of drawing them in their costume or, anatomy and things like that. Like, you have to, like, a piece of you have to understand that character. You have to get to know them. And I feel like I'm not best friends with Punchline, but I feel like we've already had a coffee and a donut, like we're out for burgers now.
Yeah, no, there's something about finding the soul of the character, and that's something that we've sometimes had to go back and forth with my artists on some of these, because there's with Punchline, there's so much detail, and I do feel sorry for my artists because all these characters kind of have a lot of weird detail in their costumes that it's not super easy. So yeah, there's a lot of revising going on, but there's a moment, and that's when I get excited when I see the soul of the character. That sometimes you see an image of a character and it's like, that's cool. It doesn't quite look like, look right, but you've nailed him. I mean, this is the soul of Drayton Hayes.
Thank you, sir. That is a freaking honor.
White eyes. J-Man said, do you have any characters that you have scrapped but might bring to light in future books? You want to go first, and I'll answer that one too.
That's a really good question, because when I was doing the art auction, I found a ton of old art that Victor drew for FSK, old stuff that I had. I'm like, why the hell am I not using this stuff? Like, I'm completely oblivious to it, but like I pulled out a bunch of it. It's definitely getting used in future titles and things like that. So yeah, I do. I have some characters that have been scraped. I've had some that I just haven't used, and some stuff that I'm actually going to bring back to light.
And for sure, I have a bunch of ideas for characters, like the whole Regina story. These cult members, some of them are also sort of advanced in their sort of perception of reality. The one I had mentioned that it was funny. I can't say the name, but I told my daughter, I said, I have a name for a character, and she's my assistant editor. She's so great. She's 13 now, but she'll be so honest with me. And I was at a show and I said, what do you think of this name? And I said, but don't tell me until I get home. And it was a really dumb name. but it's a name that you have to reinvest in. On the surface, you're going to think, oh, that sucks. By the time I got home, she said, I think that's a really cool name. And so I'm super excited, but I can't reveal the name.
Oh, you're good.
It's the greatest character you ever heard of, but I just can't tell you anything about it.
Just that. No big deal. No big deal at all.
Andy Shaggy Cordy says, you had a banana cream pie and seltzer water with Punchline. Yeah, that's perfect. Let's see if there's anything else here that we're missing. I'm just checking to make sure we didn't miss anybody here.
Oh, no, you're good, buddy. You always do that when you're here. I know I can just keep my head down and keep going when you're on the show.
Silent Dreamer is an accountant and writer on the side. I can relate. Andy Shaggy Cordy says, Michael, tell your mom I say hi and I love her. Give her a hug from all 5 of us.
Oh, yeah.
Add 6 for me.
Yeah, when comic book conventions were on, the Cleveland shows, Andy would come with me to shows, and we stay at my mom's house.
Dude, that is so good. Oh my Lord. Wait for this. Well, you can't recommend enough. I don't think you even really had to talk to me. Okay, iPad Procreate.
All right.
The original image of Void is what I had envisioned for the main villain in Hotshot Manor crossover. And I had not seen the original Void sketch before. That's Andy again. Andy Shaggy. Is that something you could respond to?
The original image of Void is what I envisioned for the main villain in Hotshot Manor crossover. The original image. What was the like? I showed a lot of stuff at FSK there or whatnot, but I've shown a lot of stuff over time. Are you talking about the very first version of Void? When like he had kind of like a military outfit on, more of a face?
J-Man said this should be a future cover for a Punchline book. That may be the better move. Make this a variant. It's tight. Damn. Look at that. And he's going Sonny Liston with the left.
I love it.
I asked
I
a
love
friend of mine who he thought the greatest boxer. I mean, he's a long time older guy, long studier of the
of the craft.
sport. And I said, "Who do you think is the greatest boxer of all time?" And he said, "Sonny Liston."
Hmm.
I was like, "Really? I don't usually hear Sonny Liston." And he said, "Because Sonny Liston could put you down with his right or his left, and you just he was very difficult to fight." He claimed that the fight that he lost to Ali was thrown, and there was all kinds of controversy around it. Do you, if anybody's listening, who do you think is the greatest boxer of all time? I'm curious to see who people think.
I'm not a big boxing fan. Me and my grandfather, I used to watch it with him. So I did fall in ranks with Tyson. I did enjoy watching him, and watching footage of Ali was pretty incredible. So let's say right now I'm pretty mainstream, but uh, I don't like his attitude, but I can't deny going undefeated. Floyd Mayweather. I'm like, you don't like what he says, but he's still undefeated. like undefeated.
Undefeated is
60 some odd fights. Like, yeah, he's arrogant. He's an a-hole. Undefeated though. Never took an L.
My favorite, he was my favorite just because when I was really into boxing, he was so entertaining, was Holyfield. Like,
oh yeah,
those fights with Tyson were epic, and the fights he had with Foreman were epic. Like, those were just some of those rounds were just like, this is impossible, like this, people can't do this. So yeah, I thought he was amazing. We got a Sugar Ray Robinson. Another guy's going with Tyson. Brad Arnie.
All right, this is where we get a little bit into it now. Where's my reference go?
Right. How many layers do you work with when you're doing something like this?
Well, on these I got to cheat because I just got a regular iPad, so it doesn't have nearly as much memory as a Pro does. So right now the image size I'm at is 10 by 15. I work at comic size, and it allows me 10 layers. So generally, if I get something really complicated, like this would, like if I ended up coloring and stuff, this one would get a bit more complicated. So I would make two. I would duplicate this image, and I'd work on one of them, flatten what I needed, bring it over to the other image, and take and pull from each one. So I'd use both their memories once it got really complicated. You can make things work. You just got to figure it out.
Man, we got another Ali. That's ME Comics. Rumble in the Jungle. Him taking down George Foreman after not fighting for years. Put Ali at the top, but Hurricane is definitely second. This is good. Yeah, I might have to say, if obviously I said Holyfield was my favorite because I got to see him in his prime, but I think Ali probably would had I been able to experience the whole gamut. But then I did go back and look at those Sonny Liston fights, and man, you should look at some highlights of him.
There we go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I love looking at old fights though, like looking back at them after they've been played, because of the highlights. You ain't got to watch the whole thing or whatnot. But I have a definite respect for it, so I can really tell you who a fave was in boxing. But I do like watching good fighters.
Yeah, almost every fight is on YouTube. Any fight you can imagine, just pull it up and they cut out the commercials for you and everything. So it's fun to sometimes go through those. Dude, that is coming fast and hard. Look at this thing. Jeez. And I thank you for not saying that's what she said.
I can't say that if I was fully focused, I would not have said it.
Jack Robinson's got a vote here.
we're at the technical portion of it. Um, because like the thing I really appreciate about Ted's characters when he makes them is that when he does something like this with the costume, like yeah, it looks like it's complicated, but for me, this is so easy because like he has a certain number of diamonds that's on this side, a certain number that are on the arms. So as long as I stay within that number, I can spread it out and I'm good or whatever. So I like that attention to detail that he puts into it.
Thank you much. Yeah, and some of the mistakes that's been made when people do the diamond side is they'll do a grid. It's not a grid; they're diamonds. And they're almost more random placement, the better. You've got it looking great. Man, the face, the energy in the hair, love it.
I absolutely. I've always enjoyed drawing people. Figure drawing next to combo class was my favorite class. So let's get a little info on the character. Like I think I've asked you this before, when not with the other character with Tap Dance Killer. But what would be his favorite movie and his favorite food? Thank you, J-Man.
His favorite movie? That I hadn't thought of. I've always thought of as he's a crab legs kind of guy. But movie. Let me think. I don't want to be too. I wouldn't be on the nose with a boxing movie. He'd have to be. It probably would be a comedy. Something to get his mind off all the boxing and all the, the training, like something that's just sort of. I'm gonna get you, sucker. Maybe. Would that work?
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Good pick. Good pick. I like that.
All right.
Now, what about a meal? What's this guy's favorite thing to eat?
I think it's crab legs. I think he'd be a crab leg guy. Yeah. He enjoys crushing and, just that cracking sound, it's sort of a pleasing thing beyond just the way it tastes,
Nice touch.
All right.
Here we go with this.
Yeah, East Cleveland guy.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine he grew up in East Cleveland. One sibling. I haven't gotten too far into all that yet with them. I usually really go deep into backstories though. When it's time, I will. And I know really mostly what I know about him is his career and the kind of person he was and why that whole betrayal sort of sent him on this weird journey.
Yeah, on this new one that I'm working on or putting together, it's very we have to have backstory or the character story worked out. Like, it's not one of these things where we made the characters and we can just go with the story moving forward and then kind of interlace it in later. Some of the characters we really have to have definitive beginnings for them, even through their lineage. We're trying to make connections through that, and it's pretty research heavy, but it's like. I wish this is something that schools would do more of. Like, this thing that we're doing is very research heavy, but like, if you would have found the right thing for me to research in high school or as a kid where I could still find academic aspects of it, I'd kill it because I'm having fun doing this. Or like, I hate math, but I actually enjoy doing math when it comes to doing the finances for my comic book company. I'll make a spreadsheet in a minute and throw some formulas up in there or whatnot. Like, we really got to get more creative with how we're showing kids things in schools. Because, like,
that's a great point.
Man, I will sit up here all day with a spreadsheet. If you're talking about like my year-end review and stuff, done. I'm locked in.
J-Man, speaking of crab legs, I've seen a box of some king crab legs at Costco that were $300. That's a lot for something that turns to poop emoji. All right, J-Man.
That is expensive. I'm not a fan of seafood, so it's not for me.
Not for you. All right. That's the way I prefer to do it too. Is I make it black and then I just paint the diamonds in white.
Oh, really?
I think it's a better way to do it. But
I literally started to draw them on there, and then I was like, man, I'm just gonna paint this arm blank and fill them in there.
Yep.
Because these are all going to be kind of wrinkled and crinkled because his arm is
Yeah.
all bent up.
Yeah. You got it. You got it just right. Do you have any shows coming up? Because I know that there's some smaller shows that have been popping up.
No, I don't have a one. I'm thirsty though. But
There was a show that just happened here in Cleveland, and I was supposed to be a guest at it. And at the right near the end, I just couldn't do it. I didn't feel safe about it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, man. I want to jump on some, but I just don't think it's there yet. Not to the point where I say, all right, yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah. Wow. This is a virgin fucking variant cover is what this is. Jada, come here.
Okay.
This is my daughter. Come on in.
Hi.
Look at this.
Hi, Jada. How you doing?
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. I love it so much.
Isn't it?
Yes, that's so good.
Thank you very much. And I really appreciate that. I know you're the co-editor on the books.
Yeah. Oh, this is Jada Sikora, my daughter, Michael Watson.
Nice to meet
And
you.
Michael and I have done countless shows together. And he does this show where he does it's called Chat and Draw. He brings the creator on and he does one of their characters live on the air.
Wow, that's awesome. I'll have to check it out.
Thank you very much. I hope you do. It's a pretty good time.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about the extra noise. The cousins are over here, and they haven't been over here in a while.
Oh, I didn't hear him.
Oh, good. I just feel like he needs a splash of color, man. I'm sorry.
Sure.
The red is just speaking to me on this one.
Man.
I don't like the one thing I don't like to do is I don't like to outline face paint.
The face paint. Okay.
It's something I'm coming to figure. Like I want to outline it in the color or fill it in with the color versus outlining it in black. When it's a lot of it and it's going all over. Like I said, I don't mind doing it for the eyes so much because I feel like there's a lot to tell. There's a lot of story in the eye.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. That's a good way of thinking about it. Yeah. Wow. Dude, that is pure energy, man. Gosh.
And I love it when you're on the show, man. I'm always trying to push to bring some high quality. I know you bring it on your books, and I want to bring it on your pinup.
I love it. Love it.
There's the replay for us. See you, Andy. This was a fun one.
That's great that it records that. Wow.
I know, man. I'm not an avid TikTok person, so I don't know all the ins and outs. But I just take the same recording and throw it up on TikTok, real quick and easy. This was a fun one.
Dude,
all right, so I'm gonna pop it in here.
We got to talk about this image. We're gonna certainly include it in whatever you want to do with it. But we got to talk about something. We got to think about this.
Well, actually, it's yours, man. You can do whatever you want with it. If you want to add it as a virgin cover or a variant to your Kickstarter, you go right ahead. You got my permission. You know I'm going to ask you if I can put it in the art book for volume 3.
Of course, yeah, of course. No, I'm thinking it's a 5-issue series, and I think I've got my covers figured out for this issue 1, but you know, there's 5 issues, and there's also the Diamond release. Man,
that's fun, man.
We got to do something with it. Yeah. Save the layers. Just
I got you. I got them all saved. All right, everybody, I just shared the Kickstarter link in here from my man Ted's Kickstarter. So there's a couple things going on with this. Let's see here. Number 1, he's hit his goal. He's funded, and it's super early. So you're going to get your stuff. Now let's talk about how much of this stuff do you want to get. This is where we're at right now. Go check out the Kickstarter. Tons of rewards are on that Kickstarter right now. And again, COVID, quarantine, we're at home, money's tight. Some people don't have money. I get it. There's 3 things you can do. Take your pick and choose. First off, the cheapest thing that you can do for free is just share it. I'm telling you right now, these are some good books. I'm a big fan of them. I keep bringing them to the show. I'm going to have him on the season finale. He just don't know it yet. He's on the season finale for 3. But you got to go out there and check it out, and sharing is free. Now, if money's tight, just give them $1. I just did a $1-thon, man. We raised over $800. $1 helps. Every bit helps. Now, if you're clear of both those things and you're just looking for some cool shit to get, this is the man to hit up. Check that stuff out. All right, man. We got the link in there. Go in there and check it out, and I will see you guys on the next one. Ted, I'll be emailing this. I'll be sending you the link through Google Drive.
Thank you so much, Michael. I'm honored beyond words. Thank you so much.
No problem, man. It's a pleasure. I love drawing your characters. Love having you on the show.
All right.
Later, everybody.